posse are the junkyard dogs. The SEC from Tennessee to calling them hogs. From Gainesville up to Lexington to the Titan Tiger Land, nobody does it like Thom Abraham.
You want me on that wall. You need me on that wall.
Testosterone high today.
Yeah, Tom's a man, he's got the plan, he's really got it made. What a wife he's got, she's smoking hot, check out the junkyard babe. When everything is said and done, no one can beat his show. He's a high-tech redneck, Tony Soprano. If you love sports without the fluff, he's got the master plan. Cause nobody does it like Thom Abraham, yeah.
I guess I'm on here, am I on? Can somebody respond?
It must be Wednesday. I called it hump day.
Uh-oh. Guess what day it is?
Hump day.
Guess what day it is?
I don't have to guess.
Huh? Anybody? Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Hump day.
Listen, guess what today is?
It's hump day. Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Hump Day in the Doghouse. Got a lot of summertime ground to cover here. If you are ready to get in, you can go ahead and jump in right now if you'd like. The phone lines are open, 256-576-4977. It's 256-576-4977. You can also text the show at 7329-TA-SHOW, 732-982-7469, which is a great way to communicate with us. Now, my personal Twitter feed is at Thom Abraham Show. The station's feed is at 97.7 ESPN. You can watch the show on the Twitch and the Facebook at 97.7 ESPN. Our YouTube channel is 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Like and subscribe there. Get notifications. Go to 97.7ESPN.com and get links to all of that stuff. And while you're at it, get the app. You need to have the app so you can have links to Zone 2 and Zone 3 and Zone 4 as well. We got more news coming out soon on that as well, so you're going to want to stay tuned for all of that. Now, tonight, the Braves go for 7 in a row after Ronald Acuna Jr. hit 2 bombs last night.
Pitch on the way to Acuna. Swung on and a fly ball to center. Pache sprinting back. Pache to the wall. Pache giving up. That's going to soar right on out of here. Ronald Acuna with a home run to straightaway center field, and it's a 2-1 ball game.
1-1 pitch, high fly ball, deep left center field. Forget about it. It's another home run for Acuna. His 3rd consecutive at bat with a bomb. And he's dancing around the base paths, and the Braves have tied the score at 2 apiece.
So he did something, the ice tray? I guess this is something having to do with Trae Young, the basketball player for the Atlanta Hawks. When he makes a devastating shot or something, apparently he crosses his arms and acts like he's cold, and it's like ice tray or something like that. I got no idea. I don't understand. Does Trae Young, like when he clanks one off the glass or catches rim, does he celebrate that too? I mean, the pitcher, the umpire from the ECU Coastal Carolina game was not there to give him a little suggestion and put his hand on the small of his back and make him say, hey, why don't you get your ass in gear? Then he did that little shimmy thing, the Trae Young thing, the ice tray, and then he finally takes off. He wonders why he gets hit so much. How did he even have a home run in his next at-bat? I don't understand how he could go and have a home run
high
there.
Fly ball, deep left center field. Forget about it.
Isn't he on the ground dusting himself off at that point? I mean, it confuses me. It just confuses me a little bit, I guess. I don't know. Look, not for nothing, but the majors home run leader, the guy that actually hits the most home runs, the guy that has a 6 home run lead over the next most home runs in the league, that would be Aaron Judge. He hit his 22nd home run last night in the first inning against Minnesota, and it was about 450 feet to dead center field. I mean, into the ivy on the backdrop in dead center field. It just disappeared in there. He dropped his bat, he dropped his head, and he ran the bases. He acted like it wasn't a thing. He acted like he's hit home runs before. He just hammered the ball, dropped his bat, dropped his head, and run the bases. I mean, that is just so much cooler. It's just so much cooler. It's like scoring a touchdown and handing the ball to the ref. Like, yeah, I'll see you. I'll see you in a little while. I'll be back. Yeah, Jim Brown never spiked the ball. Never, did a big had a big party in the end zone. Score a touchdown, hand the ball to the referee. Hit a home run, drop the bat, run the bases. Hank Aaron hit a home run, drop the bat, run the bases. Hank Aaron didn't go walking down the line, throwing the bat up in the air, doing some dance, the Trae Young dance, or whatever. Now, did when Aaron Judge got to the dugout, he might have done that. What is that thing they're doing now? Not the Dougie, but the gritty. Whatever. Some gritty. He might have done the gritty in the dugout a little bit, but that's with his own players. You're not doing that on the field. Ronald Acuna, act like you hit a home run. Act like you've hit one before, because you have. You whack a home run. I mean, even Ricky Henderson, who hit more leadoff home runs than anybody in the history of the world, drop the bat and go. Now, Ricky would do this. I got to be honest with you. You'd have to be watching the show to see what I'm doing. Ricky would grab his jersey. He'd kind of pop his jersey twice. Like he'd hit the home run. He'd pop his jersey twice going down the first baseline. He just would pop his jersey a couple of times. But he wasn't walking, crossing his arms, and doing whatever the hell he's doing. It's just so cool to me when an athlete acts like they've done it before. I'm not saying you do that because, you're a stick in the mud. I'm not saying that you should act that way, because I'm,
Get off my lawn.
that guy. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you do it because it's so damn cool. You know what I mean? It is so damn cool to act like you won it before. It'd be like if you get an award. If you win an Academy Award or if you win one of all of these things here on my bookshelf. You don't hold it over your head and dance around and everything else. You're like, I appreciate it. Thank you. I want to thank the Academy. I want to thank those that. But you act like you expected it. That's the epitome of cool to me. Coming up in a few minutes, another Carey's Corner with Trash Panda play-by-play man Josh Carey. Long night at the ballpark last night. They had a rain delay. Who the hell knows what's going to happen today? They're talking about hell. And does anyone go out to the game specifically to see the young Braves? I'll be honest with you. I used to go to Stars games when the Mississippi Braves would come in just to see the young Braves. Like Jeff Rancour playing center field for the Mississippi Braves, and watching him and thinking to myself, yeah, that's one. You know what I mean? That's one. You could tell. You could pick out the guys that you're going to see on the Braves in a couple of years. Seriously, does anybody do that? They'll be there all week long, the Braves. 5 more games. Doesn't play here. You don't have to go out there and wear Braves gear and get all jazzed up, but are you interested enough to, if you were a Braves fan, would you go to a Trash Panda game to see the Braves, baby Braves? Of course, the Angels, who are the Trash Pandas kid that has suddenly let the hot Red Sox back in the wild card race. Remember last week we were crashing. If the Angels with an 18-7 record, they'd be 5.5 games out. Of course, some of those wins were against the Angels. So I guess it wouldn't be 18-7. At the top of the 11, PGA Tour insider Stephen Gribben will join us on the mess that is playing out. It was the China virus. Remember that? It was the China virus. because it came from China. And then people stopped calling it that because it was xenophobic and racist. Don't call it the China virus. Will the same thing play out with the Saudi tour? It's not the Saudi tour. We call it the Saudi tour to bring attention to the fact that the Saudis are backing this thing. And by the way, the Saudi tour is not the Saudi tour because it's being played in Saudi Arabia. Some of you casual fans are thinking that, why would they want to go over there? There is no going over there. The next 4 tournaments are in the U.S., as is the team championship at the end of the year in September, which will be at Trump National. And to be honest, I really don't understand why Trump is allowing any of this to take place at his venues. I mean, there's, I believe, 2 tournaments that will be on Trump National courses. Look, there are many, many layers to this thing, including the majors. I mean, sure, the guys that have an exemption right now can still play. But going forward, how do the new players qualify for the majors? Because, the way you qualify for majors is you're standing on the PGA Tour or the European Tour money list. That's how you qualify for a major. Are the 4 majors going to make a deal now with the Live Tour and say that, you're standing in that 8 or 9 or 10 tournaments is going to somehow affect whether or not you qualify for a major? And what about the Ryder Cup? The Ryder Cup is a PGA Tour versus the European Tour thing. So these guys that are jumping ship are out of the Ryder Cup, including, and this is just, this is just coming in the last hour. Bryson DeChambeau. Now, he has a 10-year exemption in the U.S. Open, so he can play in the U.S. Open for the next 10 years, 8 years now. He can continue to play in the U.S. Open, but he can't play in the Masters. Patrick Reed is joining, the 2018 Masters champion. Now, he has a lifetime exemption. He's joining the Live Series, according to multiple reports. Patrick Reed, Captain America. This is one of for that event coming up at the end of the month, June 30th through July 2nd. According to DeChambeau's agent, Bryson has always been an innovator. Having the opportunity to get in on ground floor of something unique has always been intriguing to him. Professional golf, as we know, it is changing and it's happening quickly. Wow. DeChambeau and Reed, 2 guys that are not liked on the tour very much, are joining Phil Mickelson, Dustin Johnson, Martin Keimer, Sergio Garcia, Charles Schwartzel, Graham McDowell, Louis Oosthuizen on the Saudi tour. And who gets bumped? I thought it was 48 guys. They have 48 guys for this week's event. Who's not playing in next week's event? I don't know anything. Maybe Gribben can unpack something. It's crazy. It's crazy. Over there in the little glass booth with the slanted ceiling. She had a green screen behind him. Playing the play doesn't matter in the stacks of wax. Keeping us on the air. Doing the ice tray to open the show. Grizzy Grizz.
Who in the blue hell are you? What is your name? It doesn't matter what your name is.
I'm the producer of this show. If I didn't step up, you're nowhere. I put this thing together out of spit and polish.
I think this is one of the traits of a really good producer. Keep the talent happy.
I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew. Now, Tom. Hey, Tom.
Testosterone high today. Testosterone, whatever the f*** it is.
It really doesn't matter what you think. It really doesn't matter what you say.
Any of you play sports?
Hey, Grizzlicious, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing just fine. And now I am one of the fans that will go to a Stars game, Trash Pandas game, whatever, just to catch a little bit of some young Braves.
So you're looking at the schedule, right?
Yeah.
And you see when are the Braves in? Oh, Braves are in, and I think they only got the one visit.
They didn't
here.
play him at all last year,
Right.
so I mean it's better to have one than none. So
I think they have these 6 games here, but that's it. And you go out to the ballpark. It's so in the game, though you're pulling for the Trash Pandas, right? So you're pulling for the Trash Pandas to win, but you want to see who the Braves have coming up in the system.
Yes. I mean, we would have been able, if he didn't get called up so early. I mean, the Braves fans would have been probably been able to see Michael Harris.
Was he playing in Mississippi, or did he jump right over to
No,
Gwinnett?
yeah, they pushed him right up, yeah.
Right.
And then he went to Gwinnett and then immediately got thrown into the outfield. So, I
got news for you. He ain't coming back.
Yeah.
This just in. I don't think that.
The Shuckers. I got to watch Orlando Arcia play shortstop for the Huntsville Stars, and then I got to see, in 2013, 2014, you had like Alex Wood, you had Mike Minor, Philip Gosselin, you had Brandon Beachy. I mean, these are some names that people know that if they know, what we thought were going to be really good, prospects that either got, traded away or whatever, or just really didn't pan out. But it's guys that like I paid attention to. I mean, Christian Betancourt, Shea Simmons. I mean, there were so many different guys that, I thought Christian Betancourt was going to be the next catcher for a lot of years for the Braves. So, and that didn't really pan out.
A lot of people.
Yeah.
I remember him coming to. I met him at Academy
Tommy
Sports.
LaStella.
At the Academy Sports, they had the deal where to meet the Braves Caravan, and I was doing a remote from the Braves Caravan event at Academy Sports. And in fact, I think at that time I was still on in Nashville, but I was at WNSR. They were a Braves affiliate too. Anyway, Betancourt was there, and he was a really, really nice kid. And everybody was like, "Watch this kid. This is the stuff right here. This guy here is going to be a guy." So, but yeah, I could see, but you're still pulling.
Oh yeah,
for the
pulling
trash right?
for sure. Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, but I still, because I'm weird. I like a little bit of facts, but. I mean, other than Drew Waters up in Gwinnett right now, I mean, literally, I think that if you look at what the Braves have right now, they've kind of traded it all away for Matt Olson. So I really don't know too many. I haven't really been paying attention to many
they're
guys.
second place, and right now they're in a playoff position. They're I think 2 games.
I couldn't tell you right off the bat
Bay.
who's the next guy up. Who's the next Michael Harris, basically, because I think Drew Waters is going to get that chance. So,
let's grab a break. When we come back. Let's wait a minute. I didn't even did I say who we were talking to? I didn't say who we were talking to today. Okay, I said we were talking to. I said we were talking to Josh Carey, but actually coming up next, I didn't say. Oh, okay, yeah, but I'll tell you what. I'm all jammed up. I've confused myself. Is what I've done. I've confused myself. No. I did. I confused myself because there's Josh Carey, but I also have Justin Ferguson on tap for today. Yeah, which I didn't put on there, but I'm going to move him. I'm going to move. Oh, did I have Ferg? No, did we have Ferg? Oh, we had Ferg yesterday. What am I? Oh, you know what it is, Chris? Yeah, you know what it is? I told you I'm all messed up. You know what it is? We didn't have a show Monday, so in my head today's the Tuesday show. Oh God, thank goodness. I looked at my list and I'm like, Justin Ferguson. I said, why do I have Ferg?
You pulled at me was it last week or 2 weeks ago where it was, I think I said Overreaction Monday and it was Tuesday?
See, I'm totally.
But that's a Twitter thing. I can delete that really quickly. I didn't say that.
Let me talk to these guys and get my head right. Matthew, what's going on?
Hey, bud. Good. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
Hey, just a quick clarification. You said the PGA Tour money list factors into who goes to the majors. A few years back, they really switched to the official world golf rankings for that. So some of that risk is gone now for those guys. Now,
well, wait a minute. Are these guys in the LIV, are they going to get credit in the world golf rankings for whatever they do in that tournament?
Now
See, that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? I don't know if the world golf rankings, you're right. It's not the PGA Tour money list. But there are certain things now. Wait a minute now, Matthew. You know this. If you win a tournament on the PGA Tour, you are automatically qualified for the Masters. Am I lying?
No, that's right.
All right, so there's 30 opportunities There's 30 places to get into the Masters by winning a tournament on a PGA Tour. Now, if you win an LIV event, you don't get to go to the Masters by winning one of their events.
At this moment, no. I mean, they have the ability to make whatever decision they want, right? I mean, they can acknowledge them, not acknowledge them. I mean, if you're DJ, you don't care. You're in the Masters for as long as you ever want to play in it.
Yes,
So,
for the Masters, he's got a lifetime. Now, for the U.S. Open, you get a 10-year exemption. So he's got 6 years left on that. Now, he can qualify. You can go through the – it's an Open. The British Open, what we used to call the British Open, the Open Championship, and the U.S. Open are quote-unquote open tournaments, which means it's open to everyone. So what that means is if he doesn't – he obviously won't be able to qualify through – the PGA Tour or any other, world rankings or anything like that. But he can certainly go into a regional qualifier and try and come through the qualifier and qualify once his exemption's up.
He could, but if they start counting them towards world golf ranking points, he won't need any of that. I mean,
I bet they don't.
That's the stranglehold that broke now that's freed these guys up, right? I mean, they're not beholden to the tour anymore.
Right.
So. My guess is they'll count towards world golf rankings because they count. I mean, they count Asian Tour events right now. I mean, so I think the PGA Tour is in a hard spot. They probably played their hand a little too hard. They may come back and bite them.
All right, man. Appreciate it. Good call. It's a good job by Matthew. Smokey, what's going on? Oh, he's gone? This guy's got no patience at all. Some people wait on hold for 45 minutes. Smokey's like
a lot of people aren't Wolverine Dan.
I don't think, I mean,
Wolverine Dan stays on hold for 45 minutes because he's listening to the show after he's already been on the show.
You need to be a good pig. You know what I mean? Don't be a chicken. Be a pig. You know the difference between a chicken and a pig, don't you, Grizz?
What's the difference?
Well, look at your breakfast, right?
Right.
You have bacon and eggs for breakfast, right? The chicken is involved in your breakfast because, the eggs. The pig is committed. You see what I'm saying? So
I get it.
The pig is committed. The chicken is involved. The pig is committed. You want to be committed. Let's be a break before I get committed. We'll come back without Justin Ferguson. Yeah, we talked to Ferg yesterday, didn't we? Sure we did. Josh Carey's up next. Right here, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The world champs are back. The Braves are out to defend their world championship. And behind Matt Olson, Ronald Acuna, Dansby Swanson, Max Fried, and this loaded 2022 roster, a repeat is within reach.
Here goes Ozzie, 2-2 on the way, hit well. Deep center field. Might have ourselves a tie ball game. You betcha.
And we'll bring you every huge moment of the Braves 2022 season right here on the Atlanta Braves Radio Network.
This is Wes Neighbors with Philip with Eagle Insulation, and we have an announcement to make.
Yes, Wes, we are now Eagle Masonry and Insulation. We're still a place to call for your installation needs, but now we offer masonry services.
What kind of masonry projects can you handle?
Wes, no job is too big, no job is too small. We can do renovations, new construction, outdoor fireplaces, fire pits, brick landscape borders.
Well, when you came out to my house, you did both the insulation and masonry at the same time. You guys did rock for me, you did brick for me, and you insulated my house. That's usually done at the same time that you're building a house.
Absolutely. It really capitalizes on two services you need at the same time, and you can get one company to handle both of those.
Philip with Eagle Insulation will come out, do your installation. He'll do your masonry. They do a great job. They guarantee your work. Check out more online at insulatewitheagle.com and schedule your free examination today. 256-755-1556.
Thanks, Wes.
Having a choice is awesome because even if you choose something bad, you can just switch to something else. Like switching from bad internet to good internet from WOW. Internet 100 has it all. It's extra reliable, super fast, and just $24.99 a month. Plus, learn how to get a year of HBO Max included and $300 on us when you visit Huawei.com. Wow, good internet. Wow. Limited to new internet customers with auto pay and paperless billing. Subject to change. Terms apply.
Outdoor season is coming. Can't wait.
Here at Brooks & Collier, neither can we. Outdoor season is also grilling season.
And we have plenty of grills and smokers in stock. From Traeger, Blaze, and Big Green Egg.
There's the greenhouse. New indoor items and home furnishings as well.
Whatever it takes. Browse over 2 acres of furnishings. Can't wait.
How about you? North Alabama's indoor and outdoor living headquarters for over 75 years.
813 Meridian Street and at brooksandcollier.com.
Thom Abraham here from my friend Brian Hamaker and his team at North Alabama Mortgage. Look, buying a home is the biggest purchase you will make in your life, and it can be a bit intimidating, so you want people that can help walk you through the mortgage process and get you the best deal possible. That's what North Alabama Mortgage does, and they do it in Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida, from first-time purchases to refis, conventional, VA, FHA, and USDA loans. They have the solution at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com.
Great food and the best live entertainment is what it's all about at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. Head to downtown Huntsville every Tuesday for karaoke on the only outdoor karaoke stage in North Alabama. Thursday night is the Valley's longest running and biggest bike night. Food and drink specials, giveaways, and live music on the patio. And the Furniture Factory menu is fully loaded with options from steaks to salads, plus a whole lot more. Featuring a weekday happy hour that starts at 3. 619 Meridian Street, downtown Huntsville, and online at FurnitureFactoryBarGrill.com.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Showers and thunderstorms this afternoon across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. Some of those thunderstorms could pack a bit of a punch. Gusty winds in excess of 60, 70 miles per hour. Could be talking about some pockets of very heavy rain. Maybe we even throw in a little bit of small hail. Localized flooding could be a concern across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. Don't think it's going to be a widespread issue. Temperatures climb into the low and mid 80s when it's not raining, dropping into the mid and upper 60s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
All the press conferences.
It's our mental energy. I would say spend less time complaining about, when I was going to get an opportunity. Just spend more time training and working towards.
Plus, all of the rat poison is served up right here.
It's yummy.
On 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
We're talking baseball. Klazuski, Campanella talking baseball. The man and Bobby Fella, the Scooter, the Barber and the Nuke. They knew them all from Boston to Dubuque, especially Willie, Mickey, and the Duke.
Usually when I do this segment, in every segment, I have a sponsor for the segment. But I got to be honest with you. Sometimes I don't use one of my great sponsors for a segment because I might get into a touchy subject. And if I get into a touchy subject, I don't want people to think that the sponsor is necessarily, endorsing what I might be saying, that this is strictly my opinion. So because I am going to go someplace that is going to make some people uncomfortable, I'm not going to use one of my great sponsors to sponsor this segment with Josh Carey, who joins us now on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline for a little Carey's Corner. And he's now terrified as to what I may or may not say. Josh, welcome back. How are you?
Well, I was doing good, but after that little intro, I'm a little nervous. What's up?
Well, I'll get there in a second, but first, long night last night, man. I mean, as a broadcaster, to just pull back the curtain, and when you get one of those kind of rain delays, it ends up being a 2-1 loss to the Baby Braves. But man, that's a broadcaster's nightmare, especially when you are a one-man booth. I've been there.
Yeah, you know what? It's not so bad. Number one, I've done it before, and number two, the game was actually really quick. I mean, the players were. I think part of it was everyone wanted to go home, so everyone was up there wailing away. 15 strikeouts by the Trash Pandas, and good pitching on both ends. And Baby Braves pick up the win. But games like that, it comes with the territory. You're going to get a few of those. I remember Dad. Mid-2000s, I think it was. They were playing the Marlins, and for whatever reason, they wanted to go ahead and squeeze a game in. It was like a Tuesday night. There weren't a ton of people there, and it started at 10:55. Oh. 10:55, 5 to 11 o'clock, and they went ahead. They played that sucker in like 2 hours and 10 minutes. I think Atlanta won. But, I mean, some teams will go to great lengths. Now, we did it last night because, we've already done enough doubleheaders. Our fellas had to play one last week in Chattanooga, played 2 the week before against Tennessee. We really want to kind of cut down on those, and we may have more bad weather this week, but, we really felt we had to get one in last night, and that's what we did.
5 more with the Braves. Do you note, and last night it was tough because the crowd, it was small and the guys just, dispersed, with the weather and so on. But I had asked the question in the opening of the show, is that how many people might decide to go to the game, even though they're pulling for the Trash Pandas, that's our local team. But if they're Braves fans, they decide to go to the game to kind of see the young Braves that are coming up through the system. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, you might have saw Michael Harris, who is never coming back from the way he looks right now with the Braves. Do you note at all, if you look around the ballpark or whatever, that there's like more Braves gear than usual?
Just walking around the concourse during the rain delay last night, I noticed probably a little more Braves gear than I typically would. But I will say this. Before the rain delay, we played about 2.5 innings. Mississippi scored a run, and I didn't hear any overtly big cheers or anything like that. So I think what it is you're going to have a lot of people who come in and want to just see what the Braves have in their farm system, but not outright root for Mississippi. And I remember that was the case when I was with the Rome Braves. We would go to Augusta, and we would go to Columbus and some other places that were Braves heavy, and you would see a lot of people wearing Braves gear, but they wouldn't necessarily cheer for our team. They would cheer for their home club. And I think that's kind of what you have in this situation this week.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think. I mean, and that's what I say. I say, go there, you pull for the Trash Pandas, but you want to see these guys. I remember going to a Stars game when they were playing the Mississippi Braves, and I wanted to, see who the Braves have coming up. And out in center field was Jeff Francoeur. And immediately, you look at that and you say, yeah, that's one. You know what I mean? I always have had fun doing that, going to, college camps and so on and so forth, and you see a kid and you say, yeah, that's a star right there. And I remember seeing Frenchie out in center field and saying, yeah, that's what a major leaguer looks like. That kid's going to make it. And but you want to see those guys, but you still pull for your team, even though you're watching the individuals. Much like I told my son that if he was ever drafted by the Red Sox and went and played for the Red Sox and they were playing the Yankees, I told him I would pull for him individually, but I hope he goes 4 for 5. But that the Yankees win the game 7-3. So that's just the way it is. Yeah. I'm not wearing Red Sox gear.
Yeah, I tell you what, we saw a pretty good one last night. Freddie Tarnock, who was the starting pitcher for Mississippi. I'm not going to say he's Jeff Francoeur in terms of pitchers, but he was pretty darn good. We only saw him for about 2 innings. We'll see him again Sunday, but he was pretty filthy in the 2 innings we saw him. He's pretty impressive. He's on their 40-man roster.
Also impressive has been the Braves. They are making hay when they need to make hay. They have won now, 6 straight games, got a chance to make it 7 tonight, and this has propelled them to within now, I think, 1 game of the wild card, the final wild card spot. The Mets are still running around out there doing their thing. Braves still 8 games back, but nobody in between the Braves and the Mets. Not really looking at the Mets right now, but with the extended wild card, just a game back there, 7-3 in the last 10. Ronald Acuna with 2 home runs last night. And I don't know, maybe you were watching a little bit during the rain delay, but he did this Trae Young ice tray thing, walking down the line, crossing his – I don't remember Hank Aaron doing that or Darrell Evans doing that. I don't understand. And the kid wonders why he gets hit so much. I'm not that, I am the get off my lawn guy. But, Aaron Judge, he's got 22 home runs, leads the league. He hits a 450-footer to center field into the backdrop in Minnesota, drops the bat, drops his head, runs the bases. To me, that's cool. Acting like you that's cool to me when you do that. That's not like stick in the mud stuff. I think that's a cool reaction.
And, here's the funny thing, too, Tom. There are you say get off my lawn. There are still players today who still get irked when, they give up a home run and the opposing guy does stuff like that. I mean, they still have that old school mentality. Yeah. We had a situation in Chattanooga this past Saturday where their guy hit a home run, and he did a little kind of sidestep at third and did a jump in the air high five with the third base coach, and he started jawing with our catcher, and our catcher jawed with him, and they jawed with another guy, and it kind of went on throughout the ball game, and then it ultimately there was a hit by pitch, and then it finally led to a benches clearing little chest bump, if you will, in the sixth inning. And for what it's worth, the guys, there's never going to be a brawl in the minors because the guys don't have enough money for the fines. But they did clear, and they did jaw at each other, and they did scream, and they, kind of got up in each other's faces. Point I'm making is even today's players get annoyed with that stuff. Yeah. And they still will brush you back, and they still will get up in your mix every now and then if you do that stuff. And so someone just needs to sit down with Ronnie and say, look, you're putting yourself and you're putting your teammates in some jeopardy here when you start pulling that mess. Knock it off. And it's going to take, what it's going to need to take? It's going to need to take a veteran guy, preferably of Latino descent, who can talk to him in his tongue and really get up in his ear a little bit and say, hey, stop it, because you're jeopardizing your own team, and here's why, and you're jeopardizing yourself, and here's why. And I don't know how many more times it needs to happen before he finally gets it.
I mean, can you imagine a pitcher? I mean, if he induces a ground out to second base and the pitcher goes nuts, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? They don't do that. I mean, sometimes if they get a big strikeout at the end of an inning, get out of a jam, they might do a fist pump as they're walking to their, to their dugout. But you don't see him doing all of this histrionics. And again, my take on it is, you know what? You've hit a home run before, haven't you? And you've hit a lot of them, and you're going to hit a lot of them in your career. I mean, why are you acting like it's something you've never done in the history of your life? That's why I love when guys score a touchdown and hand the ball to the official. Like, yeah, I'll see you again in the next quarter. I don't get it.
It's the old saying, act like you've been there before. And look, no one is saying if you do it in a big situation, you do a fist pump or you do a big jump in the air or something like that. We get that. Steve Garvey running around the bases with his fist in the air. Okay, that's fine. But do we really got to do the whole dancing and the things like that? And I know we want the kids to have fun, and we want them to we want baseball to have more flair and things like that. But I'll tell you what, that stuff is only going to go so far. I mean, at the end of the day, it's the actual hitting of the home run, the actual achievement of a strikeout. No matter what you do afterward, it's not that's impressive. It's the act of getting the strikeout and the home run that's the most impressive. No one cares what you do afterwards, so just knock it off and don't put your teammates in danger.
And if it's a game winner, walk off. There's going to be added emotion. When it puts you into playoffs, won a playoff game, whatever. That's different. This is a first inning home run. Drop the bad run. Act like something. And then we saw the situation in the College World Series where the player from ECU, East Carolina, against Coastal Carolina, he hit a home run in an 8-run inning. I mean, they just absolutely blew the game wide open, won the game to go on to the Super Regionals, and he hit the home run, a mammoth shot. He stood there and just watched it. Just stood there for 2 or 3 seconds, just admiring it, and started walking a little bit. The umpire came out from behind the plate and put his hand on the small of the player's back and says to him, go ahead, go take off or something along those lines. Doesn't push him, doesn't shove him, doesn't just put his hand on his back to acknowledge that he was there and encouraged him to take off. People are losing their mind. They're saying the umpire should be fired and never be allowed to work a college baseball game again because, if a player touches an umpire, he's immediately, ejected and suspended and everything else. And I don't know. I mean, do we want to fire this guy and end his umpiring career because he simply put the hand on the small of a 19-year-old kid's back and said, all right, son, let's go? I mean, what are we doing?
I didn't see that play. Can I ask what was the score? And I mean, what was the situation?
They scored 8 runs. They were. It was the 8th run in an 8-run inning, and they were up like 13-5. And the kid crushed the ball. I mean, absolutely crushed the ball. And it was the 8th inning. It was like an 8-run 8th inning, and this was the 8th run of the 8th inning that give them the 13-5 lead that did ultimately put them in the Super Regionals. Go look it up afterwards and see whether or not you think the umpire – I mean, people are going nuts. 95% of the reaction is the umpire should be sanctioned, fined, fired, never work a game again type thing for putting his hand on the small of the kid's back and suggesting that the kid might want to run. He was just standing there at home plate watching.
I'll take a look at it, but I'll tell you what, my initial instinct is, it'd be nice for the manager or the head coach for ECU to come out and say, you know what, good for the umpire. He should tell my guy to run. I mean, I need to tell my guy that, hey, we're up 7. Okay, you got one. Good for you. Now move your butt.
Yeah.
Get around the bases, get in the dugout so we can get this thing over with. And that's going to be, and especially in the amateur levels, when the coaches and the managers have more control, go ahead, exert more control. And I know we're in the day of NIL and all that. I get it. But you know what? It's okay to be kind of a hard butt every now and then. This is a time where I wish more coaches and managers would be a little tougher on the players. And I think a lot of them are afraid to do things like that. That's a situation where, 20, 25, 30 years ago, a coach and manager would have been in someone's ear. And it just doesn't happen anymore for several different reasons. And players feel like they can get away with that stuff because that's what they grow up watching.
Josh Carey with us for Carey's Corner. All right, now this one, I'm going to throw out my thought, and I will accept no comment as an answer if you want to no comment it. I will accept it, but I'm going to throw it out there. I've been sitting on this since the weekend. This situation that took place in Tampa with the 5 Tampa Bay Ray players that chose to not wear the Pride patch on Pride night, on Saturday night in Tampa Bay. 5 players saying, you know what? This is a hard decision. We want everybody to know that they're welcome and loved, but when we put the patch on our bodies, a lot of guys decide that that's a lifestyle choice, and it's something that we don't agree with. It's not, from their own. I'm just interpreting it now from their own, biblical, lifestyle. They said Jesus encouraged me as a heterosexual male to abstain from sex outside of the confines of marriage. It's no different. I'm not being judgmental. Blah blah blah. And they went on and they said respectfully, Kevin Cash accepted that. It didn't seem like the team had a big problem with it. And 5 players didn't wear the Pride Month patch on their sleeve. Now they're getting crucified. Other players around baseball are just, are just kind of hammering them. Jack Flaherty of the Cardinals retweeted it, and he said an absolute joke. This commentator from ESPN said that the players were bigoted. Sarah Spain of ESPN said that the players were bigoted, even though the players specifically said that wasn't the case. She just took it as being they're bigoted against LBGQ, and one of our listeners made a great point. If they were all compelled, or she was compelled to wear a cross, and they said, okay, it's Christian night, you got to wear a cross, what might they say? They say, wait a minute, I'm Jewish, or wait a minute, I'm not wearing that, I don't believe in that, my body, my choice, my body, and all that other kind of stuff. It's amazing that there's only tolerance. We're all supposed to celebrate that lifestyle, but nobody will have any tolerance or respect for the guy that says, you know what, they're welcome, love them, but I'm not promoting it, so I'm not going to wear the patch. You could say no comment.
No, it's fine. I mean, I'll comment. I'm going to comment on my own, though. I'm not commenting for the trash bandits by any means, but what I will say is this. I read this on Sunday about that story, and I may have misinterpreted what I read, but this is what I understood it as. They gave the players the option to not wear the Pride logo if that's what they chose to do. And if that's what the Rays are giving them the option to do and they choose that option, then I don't see what the problem is.
Well, they only gave them the option once the play. It's not quite 100%. What happened was that the players, after seeing it on their jersey, the players went to the manager and said, we would like to not wear this. And then they said, that's your prerogative. You can take it off. So it wasn't like ahead of time, hey, anybody want to wear one of these? None of them would have put it on. These guys went and asked permission to take it off.
Well, and you know what? I give the Rays a lot of credit, too, for allowing them to, do that. They made a complaint. They had a problem with it. And they said, okay, listen, we'll go in the middle right here. If you guys feel that uncomfortable with it, fine. How about with this? I remember when we were in upheaval during 2020, all the racial unrest in our country, and there was a problem kind of with the Dallas Cowboys, right? Because Jerry Jones has made it a very firm stance in his organization that no matter your race, color, creed, background, whatever, you will stand for the national anthem and you will put your hand over your heart and do all that stuff. Here's the deal. As long as you are the member of an organization, you are beholden to that organization. You might not agree with it, but if you are a part of the Cowboys, the Rays, or the Cardinals, or the Jets, or the Pelicans, or whoever, you have to kind of abide by the rules of the group you work for. And so if the Rays are willing to be flexible like that, that's fine. If the Cowboys are saying, no, you can't, you must stand and, put your hand over your heart for the national anthem, well, you kind of got to play by the rules, don't you? The thing I have with it is this. If it's that far against your belief system and you're willing to put your beliefs ahead of your work, then I'm all for it. Just know that in today's age, in today's era, that you are going to get crucified for it. You are going to get blasted by ESPN and all those folks. I find it interesting in this regard, though, Tom. If you haven't noticed, the people who are going to get shined on the most in this regard, and the reason why the Sarah Spains of the world are calling these guys bigoted, is because we still view the LGBTQ community as the underdog, and America likes a good underdog. Mm-hmm. And so as long as you are part of a group that is seen as an underdog, whether it's right, wrong, up, down, left, right, whatever it may be, you are going to be shown in a positive light, and you are always going to be shown as right. And it's never going – and if you're seen on the opposing view or on the other end of the subject, you are going to be labeled as the bad guy or the one who's wrong. We continue to see life in the terms of a Disney story. There's a good guy and there's a bad guy. There's a right and there's a wrong. There's a black and there's a white. And we are completely oblivious that there is so much gray in all this that we are unable to allow people to express their views and to be gray and to show that middle ground and understand where they're coming from, which is, if we did that, I think the world would be a better place, but we're just unwilling to do that.
I'm glad you didn't say no comment. You nailed that, man. I mean, you're so much smarter than me. You nailed it. Because all I can say is, I always say those who preach tolerance seem to have the least amount of tolerance. They preach tolerance, but then they don't tolerate the opposite opinion of that. And that I have a real problem with, but that's a whole other deal.
And by the way, let me just say this. For what it's worth, if I had been on the Rays, I would have worn the logo because it's no concern to me. I mean, I have family members who are homosexual, and I love them, and I'm proud of them. It is no concern to me, but I totally get why someone who is of faith and does not follow that doctrine is against that, and I respect that. So why can't we just respect that from their end, just like they can respect the viewpoint from the other end?
Yeah.
Be great. Go in the middle with this stuff.
And I have that, every family, it seems like, has that. Again, these guys said, we love these men and women. We care about them. We want them to feel safe and welcome here. They just don't want to promote it. And that's where I would draw the line, too. See, I wouldn't wear it. I would say, you know what? You're welcome, love you. But I'm not going to actively promote a lifestyle that I don't believe by faith, that I don't believe is something that we're called to do. I couldn't put that on my body because I don't believe that. And just like I wouldn't expect a Jewish player to wear a cross if it was Christian night. That if they don't believe that Christ is their Messiah, I'm not going to force them to wear a cross. So, why would you force me to wear that? So.
Let people make their own decisions. And,
yeah.
It's amazing. You let people make their own decisions in life, as long as it's not breaking the law, the world will tend to be a better place. And believe it or not, Tom, contrary to what the media makes you think, that's the way most people believe. Most people aren't even probably aware of this story, and they probably don't even care about this story. They just want to get up, go to work, do their job, go home, and take care of their families.
Right.
So leave it be. Leave it be.
Yeah. Appreciate you as always. Great stuff. Josh Carey has been our guest. Thanks, Josh.
All right. Be good, pal.
Unfortunately, you can't ignore it. You can't turn your TV on without seeing, it's Pride Month. Watch these Pride movies. Oh, it's this. You turn your radio on satellite. Oh, we have a Pride channel. What the hell are you doing? I don't understand. All right, let's get a break. We'll come back, and I don't know, we'll set you up for the top of the next hour on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
What's better than Valley Equipment Rental? 2 Valley Equipment Rentals, and that's just what we have now. The original on the South Memorial Parkway between Drake and Airport Road, and their second location on North Memorial Parkway just north of Winchester Road. Valley Equipment is locally owned and has more skid steers, excavators, and lifts than anyone in the area, plus all the small tools that you need to get the job done like a pro. And if you are a pro, you need to check out the new North location now because Valley Equipment has what you need. Learn more at valleyequipmentrents.com.
The best place to get 50s diner-style homemade delectables is Bubby's Diner. Located at 8412 Whitesburg Drive Southeast, try their all-new expanded breakfast menu with homemade waffles, omelets, and shrimp and grits. With 3 generations of experience, Chris Bubby Belcher has the best burgers in town. Don't forget to leave without a homemade pie or a hand-spun milkshake. Give Bubby's a call today at 256-513-8080. Bubby's Diner, home of the donut burger.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhsriserealestate.com.
This week on RVER, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm sorry, I can't operate on that vehicle.
But doctor, you took an oath.
That RV, it's my son's RV.
Oh, doctor, isn't there anything you can do?
I'm not a miracle worker, Sheila. I'm an RV surgeon, trained to save the lives of large, injured recreational vehicles, which is definitely a real profession.
When your RV really needs saving, Progressive has you covered. See if you could save with a leader in RV insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, covered subject to policy terms.
Forgiveness. Wow, what a word. What a gift. All of us have done things in our lives that we regret. All of us have done things that are disobedient. All of us have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Thank God for his forgiveness. Thank God that he separates our sins as far as the east is from the west and remembers them no more. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of Cross Point Church, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison. Check us out at cpcfamily.org.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Showers and thunderstorms this afternoon across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. Some of those thunderstorms could pack a bit of a punch. Gusty winds in excess of 60-70 miles per hour. Could be talking about some pockets of very heavy rain. Maybe we even throw in a little bit of small hail. Localized flooding could be a concern across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. Don't think it's going to be a widespread issue. Temperatures climb into the low and mid-80s when it's not raining, dropping into the mid-upper 60s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
When we say local, we mean local, not Birmingham.
Loser.
We are the only sports talk station in Huntsville. It's all right here. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You've got a magical glow.
All right, coming up at the top of the hour, PGA Tour insider Stephen Gribben will join us on this whole mess that is playing out between the LIV Tour, the Saudi Tour, if you will, and the PGA Tour. I used to think at one point in time that the LIV Tour and the Saudi Tour were two different ones because I knew that there's like a couple of other leagues that are trying to get formed. The Super League, remember that thing that we're talking about, Super League? Well, is this the ultimate thing that ended up being the Super League? I don't even know anymore. All I know is that this is the deal. And they are now starting to pluck some pretty big names from the PGA Tour. We'll get his take on that as well. And what this all means for golf in the future. Because I got to be honest with you, I believe that there will be a response by the PGA Tour in as much as that we will see much bigger purses down the road. And top players will make $30 and $40 million a year, like they do in football and basketball and other sports. Stephen Gribben's next. Thom Abraham Show, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
TOC Sports has been there for you. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what does that mean? It means for more than 20 years, Alabama's largest orthopedic group has been there providing coverage and care to more schools and student athletes in the Tennessee Valley than any other group. It means whether you are the star football player, the all-region volleyball ace, or someone who hurt their knee in a weekend pickup basketball game, TOC Sports physicians are proud to have the opportunity to care for all your orthopedic needs. It means for parents, coaches, athletes, desk jockeys, or even weekend warriors, TOC Sports physicians continue to meet and exceed the orthopedic and sports medicine needs of our community. But most importantly, during these challenging times, we're here for you now, and will continue to be here. So as long as there are players on the field, games to be played, and contests to be won, the orthopedic specialists from TOC Sports will be ready to help. We don't know what the future holds, but you can count on the TOC Sports team to stay committed to you, so you can stay in the game. Call 256-539-2728 today and ask to see a TOC Sports physician. Check them out online, also Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
With a new face at first and some of the best arms in the National League, this 2022 Braves team is loaded up for another run at the crown.
Swung on, hit high and deep to center. That ball is gone! Home run!
Tonight, it's another big interleague matchup from Truist Park in Atlanta as Ozzie Albies and the Braves look for a big win against the Oakland A's. Braves radio's on the air at 6:05 Eastern, 5:05 Central on the Braves Radio Network.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Two more major champions are joining the Saudi-backed Rival Live Golf Invitational Series. Bryson DeChambeau, the 2020 U.S. Open champ, and 2018 Masters champion Patrick Reed are expected to compete in Live Golf's first U.S.-based event in Portland later this month. Their additions would give the upstart league at least 9 former major champions who've jumped from the PGA Tour. Dozens of sexual assault survivors, including former Olympic gymnast Simone Biles, are seeking over $1 billion from the FBI for failing to stop sports doctor Larry Nassar. FBI agents knew in 2015 that Nassar was accused of molesting gymnasts, but the agents failed to act, leaving Nassar free to continue to target young women and girls for more than a year. Warriors-Celtics Game 3 NBA Finals tonight, Series 1-1, 8 Eastern ESPN Radio, 9 Eastern on ABC.
Thom Abraham, weekdays from 10 till noon on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
All lines are open. Feel free to jump in 256-576-4976.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Heads up, sports bettors. Right now you can try VSiN All Access free for 30 days with no credit card required. Visit vsin.com/free month to sign up now.
Dustin Johnson announced this week he has left the PGA Tour and joined Phil Mickelson and others on the Live Golf Tour. The inaugural Live Golf Invitational tees off from London Thursday with Johnson the favorite at plus 400, Louis Oosthuizen at plus 900, Mickelson the 8th best odds to win at plus 2200. Warriors and Celtics in Game 3 of the NBA Finals tonight in Boston. Golden State the favorite in Games 1 and 2 at home, now a 3.5-point road underdog. The over-under at 212.5. Braves hosting the A's in Game 2 tonight. Ian Anderson set to get the start for Atlanta at minus 238 on the money line. Oakland at plus 200, the over-under at 9. Braves took Game 1 on Tuesday 3-2.
I'm Trey Westerberg, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You need to be more like a dog.
Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. You guys know what they're talking about.
Be a dog.
God bless the show. You are the Messiah.
We need more dogs.
This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Thom Abraham, is here with you.
Hey, I see you. I see you, dog.
So settle in and get your bark on.
That's my dog.
Now live. Here he is, the big dog.
Let's go, baby!
Thom Abraham.
How you doing? 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 How you doing?
Look, I don't speak Spanish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like Elle McPherson farting into Miles Davis' trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond?
Get off my lawn.
I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here.
And welcome back. Hour number 2 of the Thom Abraham Show. Glad that you are with us. The segment of the show is brought to you by Valley Equipment Rental. At Valley Equipment Rental, they have everything that you need to get the job done like a pro, and they've got it in 2 locations. They've got it in their new location off the North Parkway, just north of Winchester Road. They've got it in their original location, which is on the South Parkway as well, right near Baumhauer's is where you'll find Valley Equipment. And at the new location, the more room for the bigger equipment, those big excavators and those dozers and that kind of stuff, all there out there on location at Valley Equipment Rental. Ross Roberts, his whole team, very knowledgeable. Look, there are no stupid questions, all right? All you got to do is you got to ask them. You just got to say, look, I'm not sure how to use this jackhammer, but I think I need it to break up the sidewalk that I got in front of my house. And they will help you. They'll walk you through it. They'll take care of you. No matter what you need, they've got it at Valley Equipment. They probably even if there's something you need that they don't have, they'll probably help you with that as well. I don't think they have party stuff. Like, I don't think you can get tables and chairs and stuff like that there. Last I knew, you couldn't. It was just a construction equipment type thing. It's not one of those rental places where you can go get an inflatable, you want a big slide for that party going on in the backyard. That's not the place. It's not the place for that. All right, we are efforting Stephen Gribben. He is scheduled to join us here, and we can talk a little bit more about what's going on here as we steamroll towards this first Live Golf Invitational Series event. We call it the Saudi Tour as well because of the fact that Saudi money is back in the thing. It starts tomorrow, so it's 54 holes. Okay, it's 54 holes. So I guess it ends on Saturday. I think that's how it works. Let me just tell you, just give you a minute as to exactly how this thing actually works for these regular season events. This is right from their website. Each regular season event is 2 simultaneous competitions, an individual event and a team event. For the individual event, every stroke counts, stroke play on a course. You know how you go and you play one of those hit and giggles, and you play in a little scramble, to benefit the athletic department at UAH or something like that. It's a scramble. No, it's not a scramble, but it's a shotgun start. So everybody is on a hole, and that's how it starts. Boom. And then the player with the most ranking points after 7 events is named the individual champion. Now, there's a team event to this as well. The team event is where the scoring is over the first 2 rounds, the best 2 stroke play scores will count for each team. From what I understand, there are 4 players on each team. For the third and final round, the final round is the 3rd round, the best 3 scores count, with the lowest overall team score after 54 holes being named the team winner. The team championship will be the 8th and final event of the season. And the teams will be seeded for a 4-day, 4-round match play, knockout type thing. Now, with the team format, it says that Live Golf International Series will feature 12 teams of 4 players each. Since each event will be made up of a different field, teams will be decided via a draft the week of each event. Each team will have a Live-appointed team captain who will select 3 open team positions via a snake draft format. Oh, they're having a fantasy draft, Grizz. They're going to have a fantasy draft to pick the team.
Yeah.
The captain will be one of the 4 starting players, but will also have the responsibility to set the lineup each week, choose the scores that will count, and act as an on- and off-course captain for the team. None of this makes sense to me now because they said that the best 2 scores, the best 3 scores, so everybody's playing. So I don't understand how the captain, there's 12 teams, there's 4 players on each team. The captain will be one of the 4 starting players, but also has the responsibility to set the lineup each week, choose the scores that will count, and act as an on- and off-course captain for the team. This makes no sense. Each team has a unique logo, colors, and names.
Yeah, it looks like the XFL.
Have you seen these logos and colors and names?
They look pretty silly.
I haven't seen them. Have you seen the logos?
Yeah, I'll tweet something from Barstool for you.
I saw the names.
They got pictures and everything. This is This is ridiculous. I mean, the names are pretty funny, but yeah, this is yeah. Here you go.
Would you send it to me?
I'm gonna tag you on Twitter on the Twitter.
Oh, okay. Now I see it. I see it on a. I see it on a.
If you didn't search it already.
No, yeah, I see it on a thing. They got okay. So Dustin Johnson is captain of 4 Aces. Graham McDonald is captain of Niblets.
Yeah.
Ian Poulter Majestics. Kevin Na Ironheads. Louis Oosthuizen Stinger. Martin Keimer Cleeks. Peter Uelheim Crushers. Phil Mickelson High Flyers. That's a gambling term, by the way. Sergio Garcia Fireballs. Really? Siwon Kim Smash. Taylor Gooch Torque. And Wade Ormsby Punch. This is not how we want our golf. You want to have a team. You want to have another tour. Okay, fine.
By the way, I don't know where those bags went.
Hey, I'm talking over here.
Somebody moved them.
Hey, I'm talking over here. I can hear you over there. What do you mean you don't know where those bags went?
Sorry. I'm trying to pay attention and do
Chris
other
is
things.
doing too many different things. He's in the background. Hey, you should take Steve Gribben's
Thank you,
picture
Two
down.
Maids and a Mop, by the way. Thank you to Two Maids and a Mop for all your help that's going on.
Thank
right
you,
now.
Two Maids and a Mop. But we don't know where the bags went. Should take Gribben's picture down if he's not going to join us. I don't know what's going on with Gribben. Anyway, it's now today Phil Mickelson met the media in London. He says he is not like the other players that resigned their positions. You know how some other players have resigned their positions. They resigned from the PGA Tour or from the PGA Tour altogether. Mickels said that I earned my lifetime membership to the PGA Tour, and I don't want to give that up. And I don't believe I should have to. He said, quote, I don't know what's going to happen, but I've earned that, and I don't plan to give it up. Mickelson believes that the inaugural Saudi-backed Live Golf Invitational Series event will, quote, do a lot of good for golf despite the issues surrounding human rights. According to the story in The Athletic, the 51-year-old stressed that he is aware of Saudi Arabia's, quote, human rights violations, end quote, including the murder of Washington Post reporter Jamal Khashoggi. I've also seen the good that the game of golf has done throughout history, and I believe Live Golf is going to do a lot of good for the game as well. He's just blowing it off. Just blowing off who backs the tour. He is playing right into the Saudis' desire to clean their image by supporting a golf tour that we can't watch. By the way, you can't watch this thing. I take that back. You can watch it on Facebook and on YouTube, like the Thom Abraham Show. That's it. Facebook and YouTube. There's your shot. Just unbelievable. Now, look, Phil won the PGA Championship last year as a 51-year-old. That's the oldest. He became the oldest person ever to win a major. Having said that, I mean, dude's washed up. As far as playing, he's number 72 in the world. And I'm in the process of reading the book, Elm Shipnuck's book, Phil. And it's eye-opening. It's not a hit piece because it talks about a lot of the good about Phil. It's not a hit piece, but it is eye-opening. No doubt about that part of it. All right, so I'll tell you what. Since Gribbs is doing Gribbs things, we'll throw the phone lines open if you want to jump in. 256-576-4977. 256-576-4977. To flesh out what happened because, hey, Josh Carey says that most people don't even know about this story out of Tampa. Before I brought it up, Grace, had you heard about what happened with Tampa Bay?
I mean, yeah, I'm a baseball fan.
You knew about it.
Yeah. I didn't. I mean, I totally agree with what he has to say. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't really care either way. Like you said, if you do work for an organization and the organization tells you to wear it or whatever, I feel like, based on your beliefs, you have every right to not wear it. But I just don't see it as it affecting me if I had it on my, if I had it on my shirt or whatever.
They asked.
Yeah.
To their credit, they didn't demand.
Yeah.
They asked. They said, "Can we not wear that patch?"
And why can't that?
It was what? It was 5. Let's set it up for the people because they maybe don't know.
Right.
It was 5 players.
Right.
Okay. It was 5 players for the Rays. Basically, the guy that spoke up for the 5 players was pitcher Jason Adam, and he called this a faith-based decision.
Yeah.
What he said was this, quote, "It's a hard decision because ultimately we all said that we want them, wait a minute, let me get all the letters right. There's a lot of letters. LBGTQ. We want them, the LBGTQ community, to know that all are welcome and loved here. But when we put it on our bodies,
yeah,
I think a lot of guys decided that it's just a lifestyle that maybe not that they look down on anybody or think differently. It's just that maybe we don't want to encourage it if we believe in Jesus, who's encouraged us to live a lifestyle that would abstain from that behavior." He went on to say, "Just like Jesus encourages me as a heterosexual male to abstain from sex outside of the confines of marriage. It's no different. It's not judgmental.
Yeah.
It's not looking down. It's just what we believe, the lifestyle he, being Jesus, should have been capitalized in the story. They didn't capitalize it. He encouraged us to live for our good, not to withhold. But again, we love these men and women. We care about them, and we want them to feel safe and welcome here." Close quote. What is wrong with that statement? What is bigoted about that statement?
Yeah.
What did Jack Flaherty of the Cardinals said it was an absolute joke what these guys said. An absolute joke. Why is that a joke?
Is that the same guy that tried to end the Braves? Like, is that the same guy that tried to say that the Braves chant was all that stuff? This guy is like the fighter of everybody, isn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, and I just don't understand why. Also, where it becomes like where I get it where you're saying I get it based on your faith, and you just may not believe that, or you just may not want to wear that.
Promote it.
Promote
There's
it.
a difference between
Go ask the corporations that do it for a month and don't do it the rest of the year.
Right. You love the people. You
they
care
go
about
change
the
their
people.
logo to a flag, and then they go right back to the logo because at the end of the day, there's a lot of corporations out here that say that they're for it, but they do it they do it based off of a lot of other reasons. It's not because they're solely supporting, these type of people. So at the end of the day, I totally agree with the player not wanting to wear it and based on his faith and all of that. But I just find it hard. Hard to sit here and go, well, it's okay for you to feel some sort of way about my religion, but if I feel some sort of way about your religion, I'm going to get dogged for it.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Is that where's the tolerance?
It's like it doesn't go both ways.
Okay, all right. You want me to respect your LBG to wait a minute. I got to go back to this. I go back to the list of letters because I never get them right. LBGTQ. And then there's another couple of letters they've added to it. I think they got the T covered, the Q. Didn't they added something else to it. I think there's something else to it that they have. But right now, let's go with LB, lesbian, bi, gay, trans, and Q is for what? Queer? I think that is. Is that a word that they're allowed to use? I think that is. All right. So if you want that to be respected, but the other opinion can't be respected. So Sarah Spain was on the Around the Horn show, and Tony Reale asked Spain for her take on a controversy as part of the thing. And she said, quote, "Pride is about inclusion. So if you don't love them and you don't welcome them, if you're not willing to wear the patch, you're calling it a lifestyle reveals to me that you've done not even a modicum of research or understanding on this topic." Well, it is a lifestyle. "It's what tends to happen when a privileged class isn't affected by things. This is not just about baseball. That religious exemption BS, which is used in sport and otherwise, also allows for people to be denied health care, jobs, apartments, children, prescriptions, all sorts of rights." Spain followed that up with some hard-to-follow declarations, according to the story. Quote, "And so we have to stop tiptoeing around it because we're trying to protect people who are trying to be bigoted from asking them to be exempt from when the very people that they are bigoted against are suffering the consequences." So Reale tried to clarify, and he says, when you say trying to be bigoted, she cut him off, and she said they're trying to use religious exemptions to affect the opportunity, service, and available resources for people who are LGBTQ plus. That's what it is. The other thing is the plus. You got to add the plus sign. LGBTQ plus, because there must be more stuff that's covered in that deal. I don't know. She said that some race players are double talking if they're saying that you're welcome while also saying we don't encourage it. We disagree with it. Especially when they're devout people of every single religion that also welcome and are open to people who are born gay. Look, how is that double talking? Are you telling me that you can't welcome these people and say that they're loved and we love you and you're welcome and hope you have a wonderful time at the game? By the way, we don't agree. We're not going to endorse by putting the moment I put it on if I got on this show and I wore a Phoenix Boats T-shirt that had Phoenix written in rainbow to support then I am endorsing it. I don't want to endorse it. I don't believe in it. Don't want to endorse it. Just like I wouldn't make you wear a cross. It was a great analogy by Brandon. He said, ask her, to Sarah Spain, to wear a cross, and she's going to and be against abortion. Let's say this is Right to Life Day, and everybody has to wear a cross today because it's Right to Life Day. The hell? Are you kidding me? The half the people they would say, my body, my choice. My body, my choice. I'm not wearing your cross. What are you talking about? Now, let me get Mike Honcho in here. Smokey Mike, what's going on?
Oh, man, come on. Mike Honcho is nice. I mean, keep on.
I like Mike Honcho's it's a good name, especially because he's a Valley guy. Especially because Mike Honcho was a Valley guy.
Jordan Beck right there.
Yeah.
But away from all this Hall of Tolerance stuff that you were discussing, and let's talk about some blood money. What do you think? What do you say?
Yeah, blood money.
Oh, well, I gotta say, I'm gonna love having another DeChambeau Koepka rivalry going on right now.
Yeah, but they're gonna be on different tours, apparently.
No, there's a Koepka on the Live Tour.
Oh, the kid, the little brother Koepka.
But seriously, you would take the money, wouldn't you?
All right, so let's add to the analogy, because this is really a tough analogy. So here's the analogy. Buddies have bought your radio station, or they bought the business that you work for. And they've said, here, we're going to give you this big signing bonus, which is twice your regular salary or 5 times your regular. So we're going to give you this big signing bonus, and we're going to triple your pay. But here's a that has 9 listeners that nobody cares about. So your career is over. You're now completely, you have to disappear. You can't be, you're not going to be in the big time, but we're going to give you a lot of money to do it. So all of those things, no, I'm not taking the money. The money is not that important to me. Now, I make enough to where I feel comfortable, so I'm not the guy that, but these guys that are taking this money are all multi-millionaires.
I mean, $120 million to play 8 tournaments isn't a bad thing, big dog.
But if you already have $120 million, what about the competition? That's what I'm saying. Is that, do I want to go, by the way, all right, so here, I'm going to start a new baseball league. And we're going to take 5 of the greatest baseball players, or 5 good baseball players, not the best. The best aren't going. We're going to take 5 good baseball players, and we're going to start a new league, but it's going to be like single A ball, basically, and nobody's going to watch it. It's not on TV. You can't get into the Hall of Fame from it. It's just we're going to start this league. We're going to pay you a crap ton of money. All right, Aaron Judge, you make $17 million this year. The Yankees are offering you $35 million. We're going to pay you $100 million. We're going to pay you $100 million a year for 5 years, but you're going to go play in Little League. You're going to go play in a league that's got no TV coverage, and it is nothing. Do you say, look, you know what? I'll take $35 million to be a New York, by God, Yankee and play for the World Series. I need $100 million? What do I need more money to go play in something? I can't compete against the best? I want to compete against the best of the best. I want to play the Braves or the Dodgers in the World Series. Oh, no, we're going to have our own tournament at the end. We're going to have our own thing. We're going to call it the Saudi Series, and you can play in that. So at what point in time does money at what point in time do you sell your soul for money? Now, again, if you're a guy, there's that kid that won a national championship in college that hasn't made a cut on the Pro Tour.
Mm-hmm.
It's got no sponsors, next to no sponsors. They're giving him money. They gave him like $10 million, okay? The kid may never make $10 million on a PGA Tour. He's jumping at it. His career, he doesn't know if he was a U.S. Amateur champion, the NCAA champion, but he hasn't made a cut yet. Okay, in a way, I get that, but I don't get the guy. I don't get Bryson DeChambeau, who's already loaded and who has an opportunity, who has won one major, and now how does Bryson DeChambeau get into the Masters? He doesn't have a Masters exemption. How does Bryson
DeChambeau isn't exactly good at Augusta either.
Well, yeah, but how does Bryson DeChambeau get into the British Open? He doesn't have a British Open exemption. He has a 10-year U.S. Open exemption. How does he get into the PGA Championship in the future? He's done if this is the route he chooses to go. And he's competing against a bunch of – look, you've heard 5 or 6 names. The rest of these guys are a bunch of nobodies. Jordan Spieth.
You just like the name.
Taylor Gooch. I like the name, Taylor Gooch. Yeah.
I will not play him in DFS ever again. He burned me in 2 tournaments, and I was done.
See, there you go. If you burn Smokey Mike Concho there you go, Smokey Mike Concho. If you burn Smokey Mike Concho, yeah. If you burn him in DFS, you're dead to him.
Well, I'll tell you who didn't burn me last night, and that was the judge.
I'll tell you who did burn me last night was the Braves, -1.5. Damn
Did
Braves.
that game?
You're welcome.
Like, what happened with that game? Like, it's 3-2, and it went 2 hours and 17 minutes. What? I'm gonna get up off here, big dog. I got some pushes to cut before this rain hits, but I'll talk to you later.
Thank God Houston covered 1.5. I'd have busted out completely. And yes, I am on the Celtics tonight, -3.5, Grizz. I'm laying 3.5 and taking the Celtics tonight. Am I an idiot?
Ooh, I mean, I don't know. If they're at home, but I don't know. I really like the way that the Warriors bounce back. You kind of hope that Klay Thompson doesn't have another poor shooting night. But I can see. I mean, the Celtics are going to bounce back. They got a good core, so I like it. I do like it. You said +3.5.
-3.5.
So there, yeah.
Celtics
No, I do
are
like
a 3.5 point favorite.
I do like it. I do like because they're at home. They're going to get calls. Trust me.
Plus, you got the snake effect in place. I took the Celtics in game 2, and I shouldn't have. I had the Celtics in game 1.
Yeah.
And then I took the Celtics in game 2, but I should have known that Golden State would come back with a big effort in game 2.
I just
saved their season.
Realistically, because they're at home, and I just feel like they're going to get a lot of calls. You've already had all these conversations all week, and you've been hearing Draymond say things on his podcast and on other shows and stuff like that, that basically he knows he gets away with it after he gets one technical. So he's not going to get thrown out of the game unless he once again kicks somebody in the groin or does something absolutely stupid. And because, I mean, he's known to walk up to a referee and voice his opinion very easily. So, it's going to be, I think that it's a good call if all those things go their way. But I could see tonight being at Boston, it just seems like every single time they're at home, it just seems like Boston always gets some sort of call. I mean, these two teams are literally either they get the call or it's just like they probably get a technical and get thrown out of the game. I mean, these two teams are almost exactly alike when they're at home, and they're both really good at home too. So I can see that happening, and that would be a good call because
somebody get Boston out of the locker room in the third quarter, though, please. I mean, would you like to play the third quarter at least?
I mean, shoot, the Warriors sat everybody in the fourth quarter, so they're going to be ready for this game too. So it's going to be a good one for sure. I don't see Klay Thompson having a bad shooting night again.
Let's get a break in here. He better have a bad shooting night. I'm laying 3.5. All right, we'll come back. 66. 66. Not Route 66.
I can't even get one.
66? 66. All right, we'll be back. Phone lines are open. You want to react to any of that stuff? Nobody wants to talk about the Rays not wearing the patch. I understand it. All right, we'll come back. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Heads up, sports bettors. Right now you can try VSiN All Access free for 30 days with no credit card required. Visit vsin.com/free month to sign up now.
Braves hosting the A's in Game 2 tonight. Ian Anderson set to get the start for Atlanta at -238 on the money line. Oakland at +200, the over-under at 9. Braves took Game 1 on Tuesday 3-2. Dustin Johnson announced this week he has left the PGA Tour and joined Phil Mickelson and others on the Live Golf Tour. The inaugural Live Golf Invitational tees off from London Thursday with Johnson the favorite at +400, Louis Oosthuizen at +900, Mickelson the 8th best odds to win at +2200. Warriors and Celtics in Game 3 of the NBA Finals tonight in Boston. Golden State the favorite in games 1 and 2 at home, now a 3.5-point road underdog. The over-under at 212.5.
I'm Trey Westerberg, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
What's better than Valley Equipment Rental? 2 Valley Equipment Rentals, and that's just what we have now. The original on the South Memorial Parkway between Drake and Airport Road, and their second location on North Memorial Parkway just north of Winchester Road. Valley Equipment is locally owned and has more skid steers, excavators, and lifts than anyone in the area, plus all the small tools that you need to get the job done like a pro. And if you are a pro, you need to check out the new North location now, because Valley Equipment has what you need. Learn more at valleyequipmentrents.com.
T-minus 3, 2, 1, blast.
Trash Panda Nation, ignite the fun, let's rock it.
Come see the Trash Pandas tonight. Take on the Mississippi Braves for another dog day at Toyota Field. But that's not all. Tomorrow is Law Enforcement Night featuring a pint glass giveaway. Friday and Saturday always include post-game fireworks. And on Sundays, kids run the bases. Get your tickets now at TrashPandasBaseball.com. Trash Pandas Baseball. Have a blast.
Let's rock it.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
In 1982, Bob Baumhauer introduced Alabama to the Buffalo Wild Wing, and quite frankly, we've never been the same. Back then, it was Wings and Things in Tuscaloosa, but now, 40 years later, after 4 name changes, Baumhauer's Victory Grill is the #1 sports-themed restaurant in the state. Bob's Alabama Hot Chicken is something that has to be tried to believe, plus the new Bam Bam Chicken and the Louisiana-style Go Fish, a whitefish over rice topped with shrimp etouffee. And Baumhauer's is fighting inflation with some new affordable favorites. Visit Baumhauer's on the South Parkway today.
2 Maids and a Mop. That's all you need to know to clean house. 2 Maids and a Mop is an award-winning company, bonded and insured. Hire them for yourself, or they have gift cards if you want to make someone else's day. Find out more online at 2maidshuntsville.com. A maid service worth talking about. 2 Maids and a Mop take care of everything. They supply all the cleaning equipment needed. Call 256-883-6243. The only finger you'll need to lift is the one to call them.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Showers and thunderstorms this afternoon across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. Some of those thunderstorms could pack a bit of a punch. Gusty winds in excess of 60, 70 miles per hour. Could be talking about some pockets of very heavy rain. Maybe we even throw in a little bit of small hail. Localized flooding could be a concern across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. Don't think it's going to be a widespread issue. Temperatures climb into the low and mid 80s when it's not raining, dropping into the mid upper 60s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Steve Moulton from The Drive. Be sure and join us today from 5 to 7 with Wes Neighbors and me. Now back to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Show is brought to you by the fine folks at Woody Anderson Ford. The service department at Woody Anderson Ford is second to none. Got to check it out, man. The service lanes are amazing. The folks in the service lanes are amazing. I've had instances where I pulled into the service lane, and the person taking and looking at the vehicle right at the service lane, they fixed it right then and there. They'll be like, okay, I'm having this problem. We'll take care of it. Let me take this thing for a ride around the block. Come back, fixed. I mean, they're that good. They are that good. They do a tremendous job there. And you don't have to have a Ford to get service at Woody Anderson Ford. They're going to service, all vehicles and do a great job of it. You'll want one when you get over there and you see the F-150s and the Mustangs and all the cool stuff they've got over there. You're going to say, I need one of those. But you don't have to have one. Grizz, who cuts your hair?
Nobody. Or, I mean, you're asking me who does cut my hair?
Who cuts your hair?
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear it like that.
Yeah.
I usually go to, if I'll go anywhere, as long as it's open, I'll go to Sports Clips and just get a haircut. I don't do the whole other thing. And then sometimes I go to Great Clips, which is across the hall, because,
Which is confusing. Sports Clips and Great Clips have always confused me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, which one is Sports Clips and which one is Great Clips?
Well, Sports Clips is the one where they do, they can wash your hair at the end.
Oh, yeah.
And then they do the
towel. You get the free hot towel,
don't
you?
You get the towel. Well, no, you got to pay almost $30 for the whole thing.
I thought you get a free towel.
It's $30 for the whole thing. I think it's $30 to do the haircut.
You go into
and you get a little massage thing at the end on your back. That's about it.
When you go into the Great Clips, do you have? Is it usually the same
person? I don't go to a barber or something. What?
Do they have the same? Do they have that little tag that you go in, you give them your name, and then they pull up and because
you can make you can. It's everywhere. You can make a reservation.
No. They have a tag so they know how you like your hair. You get number 2 on the side.
Yeah. They have written stuff since last time or whatever.
They got notes since the last time, but you don't necessarily have the same person every time.
Sometimes I do at Great Clips. There is one lady, I can't remember her name, that I always ask for. If I see her, I'm like, I want her. And then there used to be a guy that worked there that was one of the best ones, and I don't know if he's still there or not, because last 2 times I've been in there, I haven't seen him.
But you were hoping he'd be there because he's good.
Yeah, he's
and
actually.
You would like to get him. Okay,
so the thing is it's all about how you. I mean, some people can cut hair a certain way or whatever. I like my hair high and tight every single time because I never like my hair getting long. And I mean, right now I need to get a haircut because of the back's getting long. But most of the time, I when I was a kid, especially, I would just shave it. And so now I feel like now that I'm losing all this hair, I should just shave it all off.
Let me slow down.
Do it myself.
This analogy is not really about your hair. I mean, you don't want to go too down. We don't want to go too far down that rat hole. Big Thom cuts my hair.
Yeah.
At Big Thom's barbershop.
Yeah.
Which I can walk to.
Yeah.
The reason Big Thom cuts my hair is because I like the way he does it.
Yeah. Exactly.
I went to certain places. I used to go to Great Clips, and it was a different person every time. And it was catch as catch can. You never know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Then Big Thom cut my hair, and I'm like, he knows exactly how I like it. He knows I want it tight on the sides, and I want to leave some on the top because he knows I'm got my big bald spot, and I don't want to be too short on the top. All right? So I like Big Thom, so I go to the same barber all the time.
Yeah.
Because he knows how I like my hair. Okay? So let's say you're a professional athlete that makes your money with your body. And the most important thing to you is your body, right? And you need to have your body massaged and rubbed down and loosened up and all of this, because many, many, many great athletes have regular massages.
Correct.
To keep their bodies, to keep they have a regular masseuse, or a masseur. Now, I could not go to a masseur personally. I don't want no dude giving me a massage. In fact, I don't even want a woman giving me a massage if it's not the Junkyard Babe. But for me, if I were to go to get a massage, I would want it to be from a masseuse, not a masseur. But that's just me. Some dudes like to have a massage from a masseur. Not Deshaun Watson. Not Deshaun Watson.
I'm starting to think a lot of them weren't licensed therapists.
Yeah, well, Deshaun Watson, he booked massage appointments with at least 66 different women over 17 months.
They have a word for that.
From
Smokey
the
Mike
fall,
likes it.
From the fall of 2019 through the spring of 2021. So, first of all, obviously there is a requirement that the masseuse is a masseuse and not a masseur.
Yeah.
Okay? It's got to be a chick because it's 66 women. It doesn't say. So if you're just looking for the best massage that you need.
65 masseuses and one masseur.
No masseurs in the list. All masseuses. So if you're looking for the best, for the sake of your body, right? Yeah. You would think that you'd go, whether it's a man or a woman, you want somebody that can do it really good.
Right.
I used to have a woman cut my hair, and now I have a dude that cuts my hair.
Yeah.
Okay? But I stick with the dude that cuts my hair because I found a good one. If you would think that after you've had, 8, 10, 12 masseuses, that wouldn't you find one that you like?
Yeah.
That is, she knows the nooks and crannies. She knows where the knots are in your thighs and your calves, and she does a good job, right?
And is licensed and went to school for it. And
well, yeah, these are allegedly these are all they are actually all licensed.
Yeah.
These are actual official masseuses.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, in many cases do this at their house.
Yeah.
Okay, at their house, which is a little weird, too. But my point is this.
No, it's not. Some people are legit. Like they're like, it sounds kind of weird, but
these are all legit. But I mean, having it at their house is a little bit.
Yeah, people do that. Yeah.
Oh no, there's no doubt. But I mean, I wouldn't want to have my masseuse lab or whatever they call it, my salon. I wouldn't want my salon in my place of my home. You know what I mean? That would be.
My grandfather used to go to a dentist in the same home as his dentist. So
yeah, and they would have like a dentist office, which is off to the corner. Yeah, I did that too. So anyway, my point is, this is the point of the story.
Right.
I want to believe, because I am a Browns fan, and I'm the last one that wants to believe that all of this is relatively innocent, and that Deshaun Watson, he needs the massage. 66 different women in 17 months. 60. Wait a minute. Let me do math on the show. I want to do a little bit of math. 66 divided by 17. That's 4 different masseuses a month. That's a different one every week for 17 months.
And you don't have, and that's not counting the ones that you get at the, at your home field, the hotel, in the training room. Like, you already have those, like, set up through your team. So, like.
No, this included the team ones.
Oh, these were the team ones included?
This was.
Okay. I didn't know if these were private ones.
No. Some of these were scheduled by the team.
They gave him, like, what was it, the non-disclosure agreements or whatever?
Yeah, the list of 66 include the 24 women who have filed lawsuits against Watson, including 2 in the past week, a woman who sued Watson and then withdrew her complaint, 2 women who filed criminal complaints against Watson but ended up not suing him, at least 15 therapists who issued statements of support for Watson at the request of his lawyers, at least 4 therapists contracted with the Texans. All right, 4 that were actually, Texans therapists they contracted. Here, go see this one. 5 women identified by the plaintiff's lawyers during the investigation for the civil suits, and at least 15 other women whose appointments with Watson were confirmed and records were reviewed by the New York Times. Okay? 66. My point is this. I want to believe that there isn't that Deshaun Watson's getting different massages to different women or whatever. It's one thing at 22, 24, 30. Now we're up to 66. You would think that if you were strictly looking for a great massage and nothing extra, no happy ending, if you were strictly looking for a great masseuse, wouldn't you stick with one? We stick with one person to cut our hair. We find somebody that we like giving us a haircut, and we stick with the person to cut our hair. Why wouldn't we find one masseuse and use that one masseuse all the time? All the time. Doesn't make any sense. Brandon is up. Brandon, welcome to the show. How are you?
I was having a good laugh when you were talking about Deshaun Watson and a masseur. If he gets sued by a masseur, that's when this thing's really going to take off.
If he gets sued by a masseur, I'm done. I'm done with that with the Cleveland Browns. I think they're going to figure out a way to get out of the contract, to be honest with you.
I figure they are, too. At this point, it's blown up in their face, and they're going to have to do something.
No pun intended. No pun intended.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
It's not going to be a happy. It's not going to be a happy ending for the fans.
That would be a great headline. No happy ending for the Browns.
So, the LIV Saudi Tour offered Tiger Woods. Is that accurate?
High nine figures. You broke up there a second, but they said high nine figures, according to Greg Norman, which high nine figures means $700 or $800 million. And he said no.
Okay. The Saudis have Jimbo Fishered the PGA Tour. They just said, hey, we can buy it, done. And have really gutted a lot of it and are probably not done yet. But
well, they're not done yet, but I wouldn't say gutted. Even if you get DeChambeau and Patrick Reed, all right, Patrick Reed was a hell of a Ryder Cup player, but he hasn't done anything in the last few years. DeChambeau and Dustin Johnson are pretty big names. Those are pretty big names. Phil should be on the senior tour, so I'm not worried about that. Guys like Martin Keimer and some of those guys. Gutted would be if Rory McIlroy and Jordan Spieth and Xander Schauffele and Scotty Scheffler and Justin Thomas. If those guys went, now you're gutted.
Oh, I would be on the warpath to get 2, maybe 3 of those, and whatever it took to get them.
Every one of them has been offered huge money, over $200 million. Every single one of those names I just said have been offered over $200 million.
It's crazy. I mean, for that kind of money, I would let Grizz pull Patches O'Houlihan on me. You could just throw wrenches at me, and I'd just stand there for $900 million. Why Tiger didn't take that money, I don't know. That's kind of $900 million. You have to take that.
I don't think so. If you are a billionaire, which Tiger is, why do you have to have $900 million? Why do you have to have another billion? If you have a billionaire and if you have more money than any 5 generations of your family, $2 billion. $2 billion doesn't do you any more than $1 billion. Really, I mean, when you get to the point where you can buy everything and you have everything, isn't there something more than just money? I mean, you have now taken care of the next 5 generations of Woods and more. Maybe the rest of your family tree for the rest of time are now taken care of, unless they do something completely. The guy who's the heir to the Walmart just bought the Denver Broncos for $4.5 billion. Walmart, the guy, the kid. So you got money already generationally. Already, Tiger Woods is already there, where his offspring for generations will make more and more money just by putting the money in investments. They'll make more and more money. So he doesn't need more money. What he wants is the prestige. He doesn't want the stink of being associated with the Saudi money. He doesn't want the stink of having the money that on the backs of the government that killed an American journalist or that killed gay people just because they're gay. It's one thing not to wear the patch. It's another thing to kill the people because they're gay. I mean, it's ridiculous. No, I don't think so. I don't think you take that money, $900 million. I don't. You don't need it if you already got $900 million.
I just wonder how many more will be to come, if they will get any more big names going forward.
I think they will.
I
think they will. I think there will be a couple of more chips to fall, but I think that the bigger thing is going to be, will they get the next wave of young players? Because those guys don't have $100 million. Now, they're not going to give them that kind of money, but you wonder how many NCAA champions or how many young players that have just won their first couple of tournaments on tour. You wonder, do they reach out? Is Will Zatorius, let's use that guy. That guy has not won a major yet, and you wonder, is a guy like that, he's won a couple of $1 million. If they were to offer Will Zatorius, an up-and-comer, if they were to offer him $20 million to jump, would he go? Keep in mind, keep in mind that last place in one of these tournaments is $120,000. If you miss the cut on a PGA Tour event, you don't get anything. But that's the thing. The PGA is going to respond, Brandon. I'm telling you that in 5 years, the leading money winner on a PGA Tour will make $40-45 million, not 10 or 12 like they do now. And I'm telling you that they're going to have they're going to be paid all the way through. If you're in the field, I bet everybody's going to get a check. It's not going to be you miss the cut, you don't get paid.
Well, and I also wonder, if you're on the LIV Tour, are you going to be excluded from participating in PGA events? Is it going to be one or the other? Or
yes, that's the whole point of this whole thing. You know, you've got Phil Mickelson. The PGA Tour came out and said you are not allowed to skip a PGA Tour event to play in a LIV Tour event. The Canadian Open is this weekend. So Dustin Johnson and Kevin Na, they resigned from the PGA Tour. Now, Phil says, I'm not resigning from the PGA Tour. I'm going to make them throw me out, and then there'll be a court case about it. Phil is saying, I'm going to make them ban me. I'm not resigning. Let them ban me. And when they ban me, I will sue them. All right? So that because the question's going to be, can the PGA Tour – these guys all signed contracts with the PGA Tour saying that they would not play in a competing tour. So is it enforceable? Because they're all 1099 employees. They're not employees. I mean, they're all 1099 workers. So does the PGA Tour have the right to stop them? You know, that's going to be the things that are going to come up.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see if the Saudis buy the up-and-comers and they pull a Jimbo Fisher on the people coming up. That is going to be really big to see. And before I go, you were talking about players in the minors. Vaughn Grissom, that plays for the Rome Braves, is a very, very exciting player to watch. He plays shortstop, third, and second. And we go to the games. We watch him a lot, and he is a big draw in Rome for people watching because he's got a pretty heavy bat.
All right, man. I appreciate you as always.
Roll Tide, get paid, get some of that money if you can get it.
No, there's that. All right, let's get a break. We'll come back and wrap it up next. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
I'm here with Stan McDonald of the Stanton Law Firm. Stan, I guess you are the Stanton in the law firm.
Yes, Wes, that's me, and we started the Stanton Law Firm so that myself and 4 other attorneys with me can help clients litigate, negotiate, and creatively solve legal and real estate problems.
Now, Stan, you grew up on a family farm in this area and have made a name closing on houses and land with your closing company, Jacob Title.
I grew up on a farm which used to be in the country. That, plus having closed on so many homes and farms, one of my colleagues started referring to me as a classic dirt lawyer. Now, I didn't know how to take that at first, that tag, but I realized that's exactly what I do and what I am.
Dan, I know the attorneys at Stanton Law Firm are regular listeners, and we plan to have you on periodically. You and I have seen have impacted this community.
Stay tuned, and you may hear about friends like Steve Booker, Clarence Johnson, Thomas Boyd, and even a few of those offensive line hogs like Hoss Johnson, and maybe you remember some other of those guys too.
I remember Clarence Johnson. He beat us one year. He was unbelievable.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Thom Abraham here from my friend Brian Hamaker and his team at North Alabama Mortgage. Look, buying a home is the biggest purchase you will make in your life, and it can be a bit intimidating, so you want people that can help walk you through the mortgage process and get you the best deal possible. That's what North Alabama Mortgage does, and they do it in Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida, from first-time purchases to refis, conventional, VA, FHA, and USDA loans. They have the solution at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com.
Did you know that your car, truck, or SUV may be worth over 30 or 40% more than it was last year? It's true. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, and we'd love your trade-in for a personalized custom factory order on a 2022 Explorer, Expedition, Ranger, or F1.
We interrupt this message to announce our $1,000 appreciation cash reward. Attention all active military, reservists, retirees, and all veterans, plus first responders, police, fire department, EMTs, and medical professionals. In appreciation for making Huntsville the great city it is, you'll receive a $1,000 exclusive reward in addition to any public offers on most all 22 Fords. So please come see us today.
Our Ford Gold certified or low mileage, gently used vehicles with great warranties. At Woody Anderson Ford, whether it's a new order or a pre-owned, we promise to always do the right thing. Corner of Jordan and Sparkman, hope to see you soon.
Sweet Home is brought to you by still needing some stuff here. My good friends at North Alabama Mortgage. Brian Hammaker and his team standing by to make sure that your offer can get accepted by working with North Alabama Mortgage. I'll explain that to you. And also, you know, this is a great time to refi because the rates are going up. You want to lock in before they go much higher, and then you'll be able to get that work done that you want. Maybe that, maybe you're paying off some other expenses or whatever it is that you want to do with that refi. You can get it done through North Alabama Mortgage. From the text window, Tiger Woods made $110 to $121 million in golf. Just the golf. Dustin Johnson will make that in 1 year. None of the majors except the PGA Championship are controlled by the PGA, so they will still be able to be in the major tournaments. Okay, that's not – first of all, the PGA Championship has nothing to do with the PGA Tour. The PGA is the Professional Golf Association of America, and that is not the PGA Tour. So now they pull their participants through the PGA Tour rankings. The Masters, you get into the Masters by winning a PGA Tour event or being in the top 50 in the rankings and so on. So there's qualifying for that. But if you've won a Masters, you get a lifetime exemption. So DJ, for example, will be able to play in that for the rest of his life, so will Phil if they want to. The U.S. Open gets a 10-year exemption and is an open tournament, so you can go through open qualifying as you would for the British Open. So it's not automatic that these guys will be able to play in those events. If you're a guy that's not won a major, you're not getting in a major unless you go through some other qualifying method. All right, that's going to do it for us. Chuck Oliver is next. Then Paul Feinbaum and The Drive and the Braves will win their 7th in a row right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. You know, you'll hear people say we're like a family, but here at the Lackey Law Firm,